Well, hello, my soul friend. It's Victoria on the Soul Nurture channel. Come on in. Let's have a little cozy visit. I have a topic to share with you, so grab a candle, uh, grab a cup of tea, whatever you want, and let's just take some time, some sacred time today. I try to do a video once a week. Usually, it's a new moon, full moon, and then a transformational topic or a spiritual topic, whatever's on my heart. And so today, my topic is: are you too much in your human experience? Are you? What does that even mean? I'll admit I have been. I'm not, no shame there. We are souls having a human experience, and sometimes we go back and forth, and sometimes we're right in the middle where we can witness ourselves as souls having a human experience. Sometimes we get pulled into the fray of the world and the life unfold and the world unfolding. So that's my topic, and it came to me because somebody mentioned on my video, uh, post-election grief. A couple people mentioned, uh, I was surprised you cried so much. First of all, I thought, well, they don't know me. Number two, I was like, why wouldn't I be crying? I was actively grieving. And then I got really centered in myself and like, was it not? I don't believe in there's too much. You're too sensitive, you cry too much, or too angry, I don't believe any of that. We get to have all of our human fun experiences or all of our human emotions. I remember reading, oh gosh, now his face popped in my head uh, and it's gone. Anyway, this was a spiritual teacher who was very much in his human experience, very much enjoyed the human, the all the experiences of being human. And why is his name not coming? I always Ram Dass. I always quote his quote, which I love, is if you think you've reached enlightenment, go spend a week with your family. Right? So true. Anyway, that's my topic. So welcome to the Soul Nurture channel. It's just a soul call for me to be here from time to time to offer what I have from my life journey, from my trainings in various modalities, and just to offer something to anyone out there who might find it helpful. You know, as a reminder that we're not alone. We're having this experience together, and if I have something that can help someone out there, then I'm fulfilling my purpose. So thanks for being with me. Consider subscribing and all that stuff that people do. Although I gotta say, I love that I have. I guess it's. I don't want to be stuck here, but I love being at 1,000, 1,100, and I can't get this number right. Anyway, 111 as my subscribers, and that's kind of fun. But we can up level together if you're interested. I'm interested. Okay. Anyway, so are you too much in your human experience? What does that mean? So human experience, when we're too much kind of out of balance or just really pulled under by the weight of the world, we're noticing more fear, more overwhelm, more concern about the future. We're more in our wounds from the human experience. You may be noticing more judgment and anger, all the, fun emotions of the human experience. And yes, like I said, all of them are needed to navigate, to help us process, to be fully immersed in the human experience, but not, here's my distinction, be immersed in it, but don't live there. Okay. What does that even mean? So I have a couple quotes that I think will help further define what I'm going to try to say here. By the way, I say souls having a human experience, even though I first heard this concept from a quote from Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, which is, we are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So, but I'm a soul gal. I'm all soul, all about the soul. So, okay. So this quote, this like a few quotes popped up on my radar. Here's one of them from Deepak Chopra. The world sometimes feels like an insane asylum. Yeah, anyone have any judgment around that, or noticing that, or feeling that? You can decide whether you want to be an inmate or pick up your visitor's badge. I have something to say about that in a moment. You can be in the world but not engage in the melodrama of it. You can become a spiritual being having a human experience thoroughly and fully. Okay, so that's one of my favorite verses in the Bible. Be in this world, not of this world. But no easy task, right? We are in this world. We're living and breathing in physical form, interacting with others, doing the same thing. And in the physical form, in our human experience, that's where we get wounded. That is where, we're in earth school. We're being tested. We're learning lessons. We're growing. We're struggling through. We're having growing pains. And I do like to say this, struggling, when we can have this both perspectives, like come back to our soul essence and witness ourselves and wherever we are. Witness, not judging, right? That's the human experience. When we're fully in judgment, we're just kind of stuck in judgment, judging others, judging ourselves. Very human experience. When we can pause and connect to our essence, and I'll talk about a few ways to do that. Obviously, the number one, I say it all the time, get out in nature. Why? Because when we're in nature, it's like activate true nature. It's like everything in the human experience just kind of sloughs off, right? And we're reminded of who we are and whose we are, right? But yeah, we're visitors. We're visitors visiting through this human experience. So you can either decide if you want to be an inmate. I love that line. Just, fully join the insane asylum and be in there, or you can be a visitor. So that's the kind of feel of this message. And to be quite honest, after the human experience of the election, I was having a very, very visceral, deep human experience with grief. Yeah, that's why I cried, and that's why I left the video up. I don't edit videos. I don't script. I put a few notes and put a few quotes. I just want to speak to you. I want to just say, hey, anybody else feeling this? Do you connect to this? Do you relate to this? This is my take on our experience right now. You're the expert of you. I just have a few, I get these messages that come and I want to share them. And but yeah, we're all experiencing the chaos of, whatever you want to call it, growing pains, transformational pains, evolutionary pains. And so I like to say, when we get back into our soul essence and we can witness it with that narrative, like, oh, struggle. Oh, must mean transformation. Oh, pain must be growing some new opportunities, some new evolutionary way of seeing or being. But it's really important. I don't, like there's a lot of spiritual talk about, what's the word, transcending the human experience. I'm just so above it all. And great to have moments like that, but why do you want to miss that on the human experience? It's amazing, right? But when you witness, it's like I really witnessed myself going way down some path that I was like, okay, come on back. You did enough research. You know what the grief of, disappointment is. You know what it feels like to feel what's happening in the human experience. You did enough research, Victoria. Come on back, right? And I invite you to come on back. What I mean by research is anytime you're in the middle of a lesson or an experience and you're not really feeling, you're just not feeling into your best self, your essence, you're in learning mode. You're in research mode. You're in get your knees dirty, get some scratches, get some, just get in it. But then get out of it and review, research, and then review. What does this mean for your personal healing and transformation, whatever experience you're in? And it's like you call yourself back, and that you can do this with imagery, Some people like to connect to their higher selves. I like to say connect to your soul wisdom. You could even go into prayer and connect with God. And I've had many a prayer where I will just say, okay, God, this is not who you created me to be, and I am just down in some muck here. And I'm not proud of it, but I'm having the experience. I'm doing the research, but I'm ready to be lifted up to something higher. Show me the way. Show me the way. What do I need to do? And then I'll get my download of, oh, you have to do some forgiveness work. Oh, you've been in judgment too much. You got to move to acceptance, So you get, did anybody else have this? Just me. I'll get my, all right, enough of the human experience. And now here is your spiritual to-do list to get back aligned, back centered, fortified to be able to navigate through whatever is. And we truly are in evolutionary times. That's the part of astrology that I do like to look at, to be reminded that there is a higher a higher plan unfolding, a divine plan unfolding that we're not privy to. We don't get to know the outcome. We're just kind of being pulled inward. And years ago, I kept thinking, oh, we've had this experience, but I think maybe this is it. I don't know. I was doing a vision quest, and I kept seeing a washer machine spiraling like this, and I'm like, what is this? What I'm trying to what is it? Decode the symbology of that. Did I forget to do laundry when I get out? Do I have to do laundry? No, it was so much bigger than that. And then I just was watching it, witnessing that image, and then I kept hearing irritation. And then later, as I came out of the vision quest and sat with it more and journaled about it, it was like, oh, there's going to be a cycle of irritation that is purposeful, and everything in our human experience is purposeful. Whether, I don't know, I believe that anyway. Except for, I'll make a distinction. I do not like the saying, everything happens for a reason. Hey, smile. It's okay. I don't like a spiritual bypass. I don't like false positivity. I don't like escaping the human experience, because it's when we allow ourselves to be in the human experience, and be with it, and then tend and mend what we need, and we get to grow more potential, more gifts to contribute to our collective unfolding and to each other. So it's not that. It's I went off on track. Okay, this is what happens. I just get all this information and then I lose my way. But that's the point. We're never lost. And it's never, oh, that's it. Okay. Everything happens for a reason. I say things happen, and then we get busy to create a reason. We get busy figuring out where am I being invited to grow? What am I being invited to heal? Where am I being invited to stretch out of an old way of being or seeing? Where am I being invited to take the blinders off and really take a look at what's happening? Where am I being invited to recognize I'm stuck in a conditioned way of being, or old patterns or beliefs that are limiting me? It is in the human experience that we are limited, right? But when we're our soul essence, we get to expand into the higher possibilities, the higher vision. And there, maybe just then, we can get a glimpse of what is unfolding and, this divine unfolding. But in the middle of struggle in the human experience, that's your soul has accepted a transformational opportunity. And I know in the human experience, we like to avoid them. We don't want to do another one. Didn't I just have a transformational experience? Okay. So go back. Oh my gosh. I don't edit. I'm sorry. You just have to go on this spiritual flow with me. The vision quest and the washer machine. So I kept thinking, oh, that was 2020, the washer machine and irritation. I feel like it's now. We're constantly being irritated. What's the irritation about? What happens in the cycle of a washing machine? It tries to get all the, dirt and debris out of the clothes, right? To cleanse, to clear, to release. Well, I feel like that's the part of where we are right now. We're seeing a lot of the shadow of the United States surfacing. We can be in judgment, denial. We could reject our own corresponding shadow especially if we're in a lot of judgment. You know, that old saying, when you're pointing the finger, three fingers are pointing back at you. That's inner work. That's soul work. Where am I that? You know, that saying, there's a saying in shadow work, you spot it, you got it. I know it's hard to do. Believe me, I'm like, I don't want to do any more of this work, right? And it's easier to judge. It's easier to just see the problem instead of try to shift to the solution. I know. I do the human research on this too, so you're not alone. But I feel that this is the time, the irritation time, the cycling around and around and around and feeling like, are we done yet? I mean, how much work do we need to do? Well, we signed up for this, my friends. We signed up for it, didn't we? So also in the beginning of, that was 2019, I remember journaling this. Something like, and this is for all my friends on a spiritual journey out there, all those classes you took and all the spiritual books you read and all of the meditation you've been doing and all of the spiritual teachers you followed, all that learning, all that growing, this is the test. Yeah. I know we don't want to be tested, and some people don't believe in the earth school concept. I do. And I do believe we have tests, and sometimes, but here's the thing about the test. There's no failing. There's just feedback. I got some feedback around the election. That doesn't mean I'm not still angry. And I feel like there's a lot of work to be done in the human experience, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up. I'm going to speak up. And that is, but I'm going to do it with a fortified human experience, fortified by my soul awareness. And so let's go to the soul awareness. What our soul experience? That is more, of course, the miracle says there's only two energies in the world. There's fear or love. I say fear is connected to the human experience and love is connected to the soul. We can do it with unconditional love. We can do it with faith and acceptance and deep trust in the unfolding, right? From the soul perspective, right? Okay. Is this making sense? Please do comment. I love comments. Even if you don't agree, I'm okay. At least my soul's okay. My human experience might get a little pissed off at you. No. But do you see what I was saying? This is, and you can find your way back inward to your soul. That is where when you think about those moments where you might even say, I feel more like myself, or you just feel unburdened by the what's happening in the world. And not avoiding. I really want to make this clear. Not like, oh, it's good, it is what it is, it's fine. That's the spiritual bypass. But to really feel it and to do your work around it. When the world is, we're in an agitation cycle and there's a lot of pressure from the external world and a lot of our old stuff opens up, that's the invitation to do that human experience inner work, to trace what it's connected to find the root beliefs, to recognize the conditioning, to recognize where you adapted into the human experience that limited your soul expression, all of that stuff. Talk to me if you want to learn more. Offer you a free 20-minute consultation if you're interested, or just know you're worthy of a full session. If you want to understand more about my work, go to my website, victoriajazwick.com. Look at the testimonials. That'll say more than I can, probably. Okay, or if you've had a session or a consult with me and you're comfortable, put a comment about working with me, what the experience is like. Okay, that's the part I don't like about this. It's like, yeah, my human experience says, do a commercial here, Victoria, or my soul just wants to share. Okay, so that's why I think I don't do a lot of these videos, because I need to find the balance of when my soul feels ready to share a message and my human experience part can set it up but doesn't get in the way. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. So that human experience, we have to recognize, yeah, we're going to fall back into our conditioning. We're going to fall back into our wounds. We're going to fall back into fear. And then we just need to either do some work there, do some repair, restore, tend and mend the wounds, gather the gifts, bring them forward, connect in to your soul by being in nature, going into meditation, just really connecting, put your hand on your heart and just dropping back in. And sometimes for me, I'll just say, it's okay. It's safe to be here now, right? Instead of I literally can feel my energy just out there, just with everybody, and I have to pull back in and especially when I work with clients, and or when I'm out and about and there's a lot of people, I'm very sensitive and very empathic, and I can just feel it all. I don't want to feel it all, right? Anybody hear me on that? You don't want to feel it all. So you got to take care, ground, create space around you, and that is like a shield, and not, what's that great saying about empaths? Don't absorb, observe, right? That's easier to say, and it's not always easy to say. I always flip those two words, but something to practice over and over again. Okay, so yeah, we are in the world, and then we need to tether back into that higher perspective, what I call the sacred view, where it's sort of like, have you ever had the experience when you get in a plane? This happens to me all the time. I'm just stuck in my world. I've rushed to the airport and I did all the stuff, checking in, get the bag, da 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 da, get your water, get your seat, sit down, buckle in, and all the human experience to get you there. And then when you rise up, or for me, when I rise up, I'm just like, oh, I'm now above the clouds, and or I see a bunch of lights of houses, and I just feel this expanded view, the sacred view. I feel a sense of just gratitude, like, wow, this experience of life. And I think about all the souls in the houses, and honest to God, I think about how I could help more people. I really do. This is why someday I hope to get a book done, because I just want to reach out and sprinkle my little bit of magic, whatever I have. And that's what we all have. We all have something, so we're souls that come into the human experience. We get conditioned in childhood. We get limited in the human experience. We learn to adapt. We learn how to play small, shove it down, not speak about that, but be who we think people want us to be, unless we've had some parents that are really aware and have a spiritual walk themselves, who can invite that soul out more and create the conditions for that soul to grow, and not the conditions to limit, right? So that's what healing work is. Reclaiming work is. I call it reclaiming work, because we're reclaiming our soul essence, our possibilities, our potential. And then, during chaotic times like this, where everybody's got some work they're doing, trust me, everybody. I mean, yeah, I mean, there are peaks and valleys, and falling in a crevasse on a spiritual journey for sure. And sometimes people get that peak experience. I personally don't think we're meant to live there, unless you're like, okay, I'll just camp out here in this peak experience and I'm done learning and growing. Because learning and growing, for me, in my experience, my lived experience, my transformational work experience that I've been doing for 23 years more, is that you got to get in the mud sometimes. You got to go in there. You got to get in the nooks and the crannies. You got to feel it. And then you wake up more of that soul experience, more of this soul potential. And I'm open to, if you have a different opinion about that. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. And, this story is coming to mind too, on another level of this consciousness. I think it's a Zen story of two souls in spirit, and they've had many lifetimes together, and one soul is considering having another go, getting back in the human experience. And the other soul says, well, but haven't you done enough evolving and growing? And why don't we just stay and enjoy this time here? And the soul says, I really feel there's more to learn about forgiveness. And the soul friend says, okay, well, what do you mean? Well, I just feel like I didn't go as deep with forgiveness. I really, really, really need to get the essence of forgiveness. And the soul friend says, all right, I'll go with you, and I'll create circumstances for you to learn more about forgiveness. I always get chills when I share that story, because if we think about it from the higher perspective, everybody is a soul having a human experience. Now, I think souls in the human experiences are a little unconscious. They're not quite aware, but they're still providing something, a purpose, a something for our unfolding, even for theirs. you know, and just maybe the ones that are the most difficult have agreed to the assignment to help us. Makes me want to cry. I cry, people. I can't help it. But just maybe they've taken on that role for those of us who need to learn more about acceptance and forgiveness and unconditional love. And yeah, maybe so. That's a real high sacred view, isn't it? I don't live there. I check in sometimes, but I don't live there. Anyway, I have one last quote, then I'm going to wrap up. Let me know what you're feeling about what I'm saying and how you're doing. And there's no judgment. If you're fully in your human experience and you're feeling grief, you're feeling anger and frustration and fear, that's okay. You're having a human experience, and that's research. Then you just want to kind of like connect back in and what is this teaching me? What is it showing me? What actions can I take in a human form that does help in ways that I seek to help? But connect back into your spiritual tools or your spiritual, the sacred view, where you invite in trust and faith and practicing surrender and being asked to be shown. Show me a way. I don't need to know the whole vision unfolding, but give me a glimpse. And maybe you have nightly dreams or spontaneous imagery that gives you a sense that all is well, right? And I hope you do, because we need to fortify our humanness, our human bodies, and gather that manna from heaven to really feel stronger and fortified and able to navigate whatever we're navigating individually and collectively, right? Okay, last quote, and then I'm going to go. So please do comment and all those good things. Okay. This one I think caught my attention and really called me back. I was like, oh, okay, you got me, Eckhart. This is Eckhart Tolle. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at this moment. Okay? So you trust that. And also navigate the human experience by asking, what do you need? What do you need? Right? That's really, really crucial. That's where we got into conditioning. That's where we get into negative beliefs, when needs aren't met and we are stuck in the human experience. Okay, I hope this makes sense. I send it from my soul to yours. Peace be with you as we navigate these times. Trust that you're not alone. Do what you need to take care of you. And definitely consider ways to connect more to your soul through, I think I mentioned those. So whatever ways you connect to your soul, music's a good way. Put on some really good music that just speaks to your soul, that calms. For me, when I know that I have a soul connection, my whole body relaxes. I'm just very present. So I wish you many opportunities to connect to your soul, fortify your soul, and come back to this human experience. We've got work to do, and we're learning and growing together. So take good care of yourself as you're doing it. All right, see you next time. We have a new moon coming up, and that will be all about Sagittarius season and a new moon in Sagittarius. All right, thanks for being with me. Bye.